Let's see if we can find some more while we're at it, right? We're on a roll here. Now, again, there's probably many of them that I missed, okay? I'm just looking for ones that look decent to explain, obviously. I'm not looking for every single one known to mankind here. I want to find something juicy for you guys. This may have been one, and the entry actually may have been missed. We're going to find out here in just a second. So let's go back with the replay to where that entry would have been, if it is an entry. We don't know yet. Maybe not. See, if this guy hadn't wicked out that supply right there, then you could have had a situation where you had the supply, you have the flip criteria where this supply zone failed to put in any sort of lower low, even a local lower low. It couldn't even do that from an internal perspective, from the structure that's going up. It couldn't even break that little guy. Obviously, we're mostly concerned about that guy. But when I see that supply or demand is unable to even break the local internal structure, it makes me chuckle a little bit because I realize how weak it really is. So in that case, it was mitigated ever so slightly though, right beforehand. It might be like a 1 minute block in there. Oh no. I think I broke the matrix here. I broke the system, guys. I don't know if I can find that again. I apologize for that. I had no idea. Where were we at? I guess that's a bad time to be going like this, right? Because we didn't mark in our spot. But I'll try to find it. All right, so I think I'd rediscovered the area that we just got lost in because I'm seeing a lot of drawings here. So we're going to go back to the 2 to see if we can find that bad boy. That's what I get for messing around, I suppose. I decided it was a good idea to go like this with my screen and pick a random spot. I mean, we can just do that all over again, but it would have been nice to finish that example. So my deepest apologies to those that are always going to want that example. And I might have to make a separate video for that example once I see the date on that, because I wasn't paying attention to the date or the time. I am so sorry, but there's not much we can do about that, guys. It happens, right? It happens on replay mode, unfortunately, and that's the name of the game. So let's go ahead and go through it in a different area. We'll just stick on the 5 for now and see if we see anything that just stands out to us on the 5. There may have been something here. Now, I mentioned before, a minute ago, that I'd rather stick on the 5. I mean, for identification, we can still flop down a few time frames if we'd like to. So if we have structure that formed in a downwards motion, some kind of structure that came up and then swept lower and then it closed above. So obviously we have some sort of transition in market structure that exists here. The question remains, was there a supply to demand flip? Well, we don't know. We have to verify that first to put an edge on the situation. So I can tell you guys, well, you know what? I don't want to tell you guys. I want you guys to tell me. I know you can't talk back to me, but I want you to answer this out loud and tell me what you see here. Do you see where the supply failure is? I hope you guys do. I really do. I hope you guys are getting this. So in this case here, we do have indication of a supply zone. So we have supply that was unable to put in a lower low. In fact, even from an internal standpoint, it couldn't break structure. It wicked structure from an internal standpoint. And by the way, guys, it doesn't matter if it breaks internal structure. That just means that we have a stronger flip, right? So this is a strong flip because it couldn't even break internal structure, for God's sakes, right? So in this case here, what do we know? Well, the demand that caused the flip per se was already mitigated before the move up, unfortunately. So if it had continued up right here, I would have told you guys to use this zone right here, or use anything in this area, basically. Or look for a refinement, like an order block with imbalance, and use that guy. Anything under the supply itself. That sucks for us because we don't have that, right? So what can we do? Well, we can go down and just look around and see, was there another flip here? And there was, look at that. There was another supply zone right here. Although unconfirmed on the 2-minute time frame, you have the same situation where this unconfirmed supply was unable to make a higher high. You could also argue that maybe there was supply in here. Let's see if there was supply in there. Let's go to the 5, the 10. Not quite. Not quite there. So obviously the supply zone failed eventually over here to the right. So where did it start to close above? Well, it started to close above right here. So where's the demand that caused supply's failure? Again, we can't really justify this flip anymore. It's still a really good signal, okay? That we have a flip over here, even though we can't use it. It's still a great signal and all, but obviously we have to use the demand to the right of that now. So we will go with the internal structure, the move up. The move up. Well, I'll have to dot this one out. So we came up to here. We made a retrace down to here. Up higher, breaking structure inside supply, making that higher low, and then coming up for that higher high. Let me try to use my path tool over that. So we went up, down, up, down, up. Excellent. So obviously we're going to use the last demand range that caused supply failure in this case. That would be the most logical choice in my opinion. So I will limit order this guy. And again, this is like, 20 days ago on the 3-minute time frame. I did not memorize this. It is what it is. It's the raw stuff. So are we going to go and fill this inefficiency? I mean, I hope we do. That would be awesome. But, I'm going to be careful with it. And we're going to watch, if we get tagged in, we're going to watch how it progresses. So this is where we get tagged in. I waited for the first candle close outside. And I'm going to shave some off mentally right here on this line. Probably 20%. Because it's a very local trade with no other TA behind it. We might not even hit that. Ooh, coming back to the entry. Might just die off on us. Hopefully we can hit at least one take profit. If not, it is what it is, right? Very close. Very, very close. I don't know if we're going to hit this, guys. I hope so. I hope so for this example, but no. So we would have got taken out on this trade. This is great, right? This is good because now we can see that there's no such thing as a magic recipe in trading, okay? Now, would it have been a lot smarter to figure out what the overall structure is doing on the mid time frame, on the high time frame, even on like the 10-minute, 15-minute time frame? Absolutely, it would have been. We didn't do that. Well, again, we're in the middle of no man's land. We don't know where we are. Was there even like an order block here that price came into? Was there even a demand range that price came into? Was there something that price came into? We don't know. That was mistake number one, okay? Mistake number two was expecting that, hey, if it keeps coming up and it's not able to break structure and it keeps coming back down towards the entry over and over and over again, you could have yourself a range-bound environment forming. And what happens in ranges, as we know, you get these kind of deviations on the high, deviations on the low. Happens all the time, right? So ultimately, maybe this turns into a larger range model before going down lower or going up higher, right? So you have to be aware of these things. So obviously, again, if you're not going to take the time to do the TA or the analysis from the top down, I call it, then don't expect the moon or zero from a little tiny, like 2 to 3 minute, 1 minute, 5 minute transition of structure and flip. Can you get a trade? Yeah, we were still in profit for a few minutes there. Price still pumped up. Like, let's see how much. Almost $200, almost a 1% move, but we were determined on the target, which was this high for the take profit one. In a normal situation, if I'm that close to my target, like that close twice, I'm shaving it off. Trust me, right? And I'm more than likely going back to break even or under this guy here, my stop loss, even though it doesn't really meet market structure criteria to put your stop under this low because you didn't break anything. This is a scary situation to be in, right? That's a bad sign. That fact that you tried twice and you couldn't take the high and you keep declining, breaking this internal structure twice. Yeah, but we'll save that for another day, right? But yeah, no, that was a great example because it showed you how you can look at it realistically, right? I got one wrong. Great, there we go. That's what we needed. We need to see myself losing a trade so you guys understand there is no such thing as invincibility in trading.